Hello smart crafters, welcome to the MadCommands tutorial. In this video I'm going to teach you how to manage MadCommands permissions. Hello, I'm MadHon, and in this video I'm going to give you another lesson to MadCommands. This time I will be talking about permissions, very important things, because if you don't want someone else to steal your server or do things that you don't want them to do, you have to take care of managing permissions properly. So before we start, let me explain the Smart Crafters introduction. I was taking a long time to look for something nice to start videos with, but something original that would be my personal greeting. And because most of the stuff that I make videos about requires you to actually be a little bit smart to understand it, because I'm talking about more advanced stuff, I came with the idea to call you smart crafters. So I hope you like it, and let's start with the permissions tutorial. So with MadCommands, by default, when you install MadCommands or when you get MadCommands installed, you get the permissions set in a way that you as the server owner or operator can use it, but someone else can only run your commands. So let's check what the permissions look like in the MadCommands help. And here you can see what the default permissions look like. By default, only operator can edit MadCommands or the custom commands, and everyone can run the commands that you create. So if you create a command and add some command to it, now anyone can use this command. I can use it, but even if I am no longer op, now I cannot use the command editing functions. I cannot even list what the command does, and obviously I cannot add new commands, see, but I can use the defined command, because anyone can run commands by default. Now when I make myself an operator, I can use the commands again, actually edit the commands. I can edit the commands again. Now, why you should care about permissions? See what can happen if you make a mistake. Let's say you want to create a command for your server moderators so that they can ban some players which behave bad, but you don't want them to have access to the original ban command, because you want to make some checks and maybe modify how the ban works for them. So you create a new command and you start by adding the commands to it so that it behaves just like the ban command. That's a start, just make it work. So let's say I want to pass parameters to the ban command just like I pass them to the modban. So I extract them to a new variable, and then I simply run the ban command as an operator with the operator permissions. Modban as of ban params. But guess what happens? Now the modban command immediately works. And it not only works, but it even lets anyone, because by default anyone can run the commands that I define, anyone can run modban madhon. So anyone can type this command, and now I have to be careful not to press this button to confirm this command, because that would ban me immediately. You understand? So when you make such a mistake, when you just create a command that everyone can use, before even securing the command enough so that only authorized users can use it, someone can misuse it and ban you. Is that something you want? No, so let's fix it. The first thing you have to do to prevent this is to disable the command. So you disable modban, and now no one can use it, even you can't use it. But that's fine, because the command is not finished yet. You see, modban is disabled. And that's the first thing you should always do, unless you have automatic enabling turned on, which you can turn off. You should always first disable a new command until the programming is finished and until you know that everything that you want to have there is really there. So I have now disabled modban, and now I have enough time to fix it so that it cannot be used against me. As an example, I will use a very simple check, but obviously you can do much more complex logic there. And I will just make it check whether the player being banned is me. So if args1 equals madhon, then exit. So now when I list what the command looks like after the changes, you see that before even doing the ban, it checks whether the first argument to the command is my name, and if it is, then it exits. And I now see that I have made a mistake in the first command, so let's fix it as well. I forgot to insert the set command. Okay, let's see. Oh, I like those mistakes when recording video. But you see, one thing that I didn't show you in the previous tutorial, when you make a mistake, when you do a syntax error that's immediately recognizable by MadCommands, when listing the command, you will see it in red. The red color indicates that there is a syntax error and the command will not work. So let's fix it again, and I forgot it's not set, it's let. So edit modban 1 let parents equal args, and let's try again. Now it seems to be correct. So let's try it now. I'll enable that command, and let's try to ban myself. And if I made it right, it will do nothing. Seems like I'm still there. And let's try another player. Modban bad guy. Banned player bad guy. You see? So now I have created a modban command that bans anyone except Madhon, that's me. So let's disable it for a moment. Let's say I still want to make some changes, and let's say I want to make sure that only the users who should be able to use Modban can use it. Because, as I said, with MadCommands by default, every command can be used by anyone, right? But you don't want anyone to be able to ban anyone on your server. You only want your staff to be able to do it, or just moderators. That's why I call it Modban. So I want only moderators to be able to run this command. With MadCommands, you can assign permissions for individual commands. So let's do set g perm guest, and I will assign the group guest a negative permission. Negative permission node means that whatever is default for that permission is overridden by simply not giving the user the permission. So I will add -cmd or -cmd run dot modban, and now I have taken the permission to run the modban from all guests, and because I want moderators to actually have that permission, I will use set g perm and moderators, mod will get that permission, cmd dot run dot modban. So even if the mod group inherits default permissions from guest, this explicit permission gives moderator the right to use the MadCommands custom command modban. So you see the difference? The minus or dash is what makes the forbidden instead of allowed permission. So now when you are ready, when you have set your permissions to all groups on your server properly the way you want them to be, you can now be assured that only moderators will be able to use that command. So now you can finally enable modban. I will now give myself the group guest. Oh, I don't have this permission. I have to do it from the console. By default on a LEET server, you only can do some permission changes from the console. So make sure you understand how to manage permissions and you do it from where you can do it. So I have now given myself a guest group, so you see I'm guest, and when I try to run modban and let's say another bad guy, you see I don't have permissions to use this command. So let me change my group again, this time to moderator. Again, I'll try chat. Now I'm moderator, and let's try modban again. Another bad guy, and now I have banned another bad guy because I am moderator and I do have access to the modban command. So let's change my group back to owner so that I have the permissions that I want to have, and let's move a little bit forward. Now you know how to manage who can use your custom commands. But what if you want someone to help you to actually create them, to do the programming for you? If you want to do it all yourself on your own, then you're done. This is all you need to know about permissions if you want to create all your custom commands without anyone's help. But if you want your staff members to help you with your custom commands, you probably want them to have access to it as well. But what if you don't want to give them up? Because that's a silly idea. You don't want to give up to anyone because they could steal your server. So you want to give permissions, let's say to admins, to edit your custom commands. You could think that it can be as easy as using set gperm admin cmd dot edit, right? Now you have given permissions to edit custom commands to every admin. Is it right? No, it's not right, because now see how easily now admin can cheat to steal your server even without having auth. So let's set my group to admin again to demonstrate how dangerous this is. Now I'm admin and I'm no longer op, right? So now I should not be able to do anything bad. Let's try op madhon. I don't have permission to do it, right? But I do have permission to edit custom commands. So let's see what I can do and how easily I can take over the server. cmd create getup. This will be my new custom command. And let's do cmd add getup as console op the player. Just one line command, and let's try it. Get up. Woohoo! Now I'm up and I can steal the server. Maybe I will be even able to use set group. Madhon owner. No, this is protected on the server side. So if I don't have permission to set a group, which can be managed from the console, that's still not as unsecure as it could be, but I have got the op, so anything that's allowed to operator I am able to use now. And it just took me creating single command and adding single line to that command. So how do you properly delegate editing custom commands without this security hole? Just like you can manage permissions to running individual commands, you can also manage permissions to edit commands. So let me set my group back to owner, even though I am now up, so I would not have to do it. And let me show you how to properly manage permissions for editing commands. You definitely don't want admins to have edit permission to all commands. But let's say you want them to create a command that's called getup, which I have already created, and you want them to do the programming for you, but you don't want them, obviously, to do anything bad against you. So the first step is, you recall? Yes, disable the command because it's not ready yet. So I will do cmd disable getup, and now the command is harmless. Whatever the admin does with the command will not harm anything and anyone unless I enable the command. Now I can actually finally give admins the permission to edit that command, but only that one, only the one that's disabled. So let's do set gperm admin cmd dot edit dot get up, and now admin can edit the command, but he is not allowed to enable it. So until I am ready to enable the command and I am ready to make other people able to use it, it's safe. So now when admin finally fixes the command cmd edit get up, and let's do something harmless like message the player you cannot get up. And now when the admin tells you your command is finished, you can just go to cmd list and the command, and you verify what the command is supposed to do. Obviously you need to understand it at least a little bit, but now I can see there is a just message command, which is obviously just harmless. There is no command that would be running with operator or console permissions, and if I am happy with what it's going to do, I can enable it. But before doing so, I retract the permission for editing it back from the admin. Why do you think so? Why would I do that? Because if I verify it now and enable it and leave the editing permission to admins, obviously they can edit the command, and even though I have originally verified that it's harmless, they can actually insert some dangerous command to it. So I will remove the permission from admin now, and let me verify that I have really removed that permission. Sorry. So now I see that only cmd modban is there, but no cmd edit getup. So I have successfully removed the permission, and now I can enable. If only I wasn't making so many typos. And the work is done. So what I have done is that I created a command, I disabled it, then I gave admins permission to edit it, then I let admin do the programming for me, and after the programming was finished, I was able to verify that the command is properly programmed, that there is no backdoor, nothing hidden, nothing cheating, and then I was able to take the permission back from admin and enable the command. And if you follow this procedure, you can have other people do the custom commands for you without risking that they will do anything bad against you or your server. I guess that's enough about permissions for now. I hope you understood it and I hope you liked it, because it's great what you can do with MadCommands. And I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.